All right, welcome back to the Pro Gun Spread System. In this session, I'm going to talk about our 2- and 3-man snag concept. Now, this is a new concept for us. It's going to be a new concept for us this season coming up. So we played with it some last year, redefined it during the off season in staff meetings, and we really feel good about it. I've got some early summer film of it, and then going into the season. With our upcoming clinics that we're having, I'm definitely having more information, so really look into it. We'll be back on the road having live clinics this year, so that's going to be exciting, and I'll have a lot more content with this scheme. But I wanted to introduce it to the system. So when I say 2- and 3-man snag concepts, a lot of people call it the snag route, or the scat route, or the spot route, whatever you want to do. What this has done for us is it's really kind of replacing some stick for us. Now, we still like our stick game, that was earlier in the system, but this has kind of given us a way to defeat multiple coverages. And I think the more concepts you have in your playbook that can defeat multiple coverages in one scheme, I think is better for you. So we have a 2- and 3-man snag concept. Also, in this session, I'm going to show you a little tweak how you can do an RPO off this, and also how you can quick fix some things with tags. All right, so let's start with just looking at the concept itself. Okay, so for this is the 2-man snag doubles. A lot of people have run this. I know Nomazone made it famous, Arizona State, years and years ago. But we've tweaked it some to what I think is beneficial to us. All right. So let's start with what we've got going on. Number one, from the receiver standpoint, all right, and what they're doing, and the running back, and then we'll talk about coverages and quarterback reads. All right. So right here is base day one install for us. All right. The Z, he'll run what we call a spot route. All right, and it's an angled route getting to about 6, 7 yards and checking down. Now, we don't tell him, hey, 5 yards and stop right there, don't cross the hash. He's got to feel it out, all right? Wherever this Sam linebacker is right here, he's got to feel this out and see how this guy reacts. Really, what we want him doing is sitting down in a window in between the mic and the Sam, okay? So there is some type of flat defender conflict there we're trying to handle. Now, there's ways we can hold this mic, and I'll get into that in just a moment. Okay, so we're telling him an angle 6.5 yards, kind of sit in that window in between the mic and the Sam linebacker, or flat defender, strong safety, whatever, the guy out here. Okay. Now, what we do a little different than what some people do. Some people teach a corner route in this concept, okay? And then you've got a smash read between the back, here and here. We've changed that to a wide fade, okay? And we want our guy on a wide fade working the top of the numbers, okay? Reason being, all right, in my opinion, I think that this is an easier throw for the quarterback, okay? Also, it can really eat up the safety and the corner, okay, on the wide fade. Also, and I'm going to get into this when we talk about man versus multiple coverages, you've got a nice little shot play if people play man coverage and bring pressure, okay, with a matchup. We stumbled on this because our wide receivers are, earlier we showed the tag screens in the system. Typically our wide receiver is a tall, typical on-the-ball receiver. All right, so what we want here, we want to get him matched up on a strong safety or a Sam linebacker, and if it's in a man coverage situation, we can really take a shot over the top with that. I'll get into that with the reads from the quarterback in a moment. So he's on a wide fade, and he typically runs a fade just like he would do if he's an outside receiver, and he's working the top of the numbers. okay? Really getting away from the safety if it's one high, you know, really making that corner open up and run with him, okay? Now, backside. Backside, we run double slants, okay? We run double slants here. You know, we really get into getting into the DB, little foot fire. If it's press man or tight man, we'll get a good foot fire, inside release slant. Same here, all right? If the defender's off, if the corner's off, we'll get a good 3-step slant, okay? So those are two types of slants we'll run backside. It depends on the leverage of the corner, okay? If the corner is off, we'll run a 3-step hard inside slant. If it's tight coverage, a little foot fire, use our hands, push through, get inside and win on the inside slant. Now, the back. What we'll do here is we'll release him right now. You know, he'll go right now at snap of the football. We'll motion him out there sometimes. Sometimes we might, you know, do some things where he's on this side of the ball, but it's not a swing route, okay? He is going right now to the flats, or right now towards the sideline on shoot route, just like our drive concept, all right? And then once he gets around to the numbers, all right, he'll start slowing down and choking down and start working upfield easy, okay? So there's our base 2-man snag play, all right? Quarterback reads. Number one is depending on the coverage, all right? If it's a zone type coverage, all right, pre-snap, he's going to look here, okay? He's going to look backside at the slants, all right? Now, I tell our quarterback, don't you dare ever throw it to the inside receiver. This is a no-go for us. We're not going to throw that unless this wheel linebacker walks up and it's an all-out blitz and we just really like that matchup, okay? Other than that, it's a no-go for us, especially versus zone coverage. We don't want that because typically, you know, that wheel will drop right underneath that. And if that wheel picks that off, that's a pick 6. So we want to stay away from that inside slant. All right. Now, if it's zone, if it's cover 3, all right, cover 3, what our quarterback will do, pre-snap, he'll check backside. All right. Also depending on down and distance. You know, a lot of factors come into play when we're talking about this play from what the quarterback's going to do. But initially, day one teaching, if this is cover 3, the corner is way off, and you like the slant, all right, he'll catch, won't take a drop. Right now, take the slant, okay? If the corner is inside leverage and he doesn't like it, we'll go into the progression. I'll talk about that in just a moment. If it's some type of too high zone, okay, we've got safeties on the hashes, all right, he's still looking at the corner. What's the corner's leverage? Is the corner really playing off? Does he really like the slant? You know, we'll take it. If the corner is off and it's about 5 yards and he's inside leverage where he can drive on the slant, then we'll work the progression. So that's how we work that. Backside. And like I said, the quarterback will not take a drop. He'll just one-step it and take the slant backside. We've had a lot of success with that. With some of the stuff we're doing. Remember, we're early on into this scheme, which is kind of cool with how we're doing these sessions is, you know, I'm showing you some early stuff we're doing, and then let's see how it works out this season. And hopefully I'll have a lot more film and some good things to show you on it. All right, so that's that on the back side. All right, front side. All right, pre-snap, he's decided, I'm not going to throw the slant backside. So now he just works his snag game on the front side. He'll take a 3-step gun drop. 1, crossover, 2, 3, and on that 3rd step, this should work out. All right? If it's not there on that 3rd step, he needs to start working the pocket. So it's a big 1, 2, 3. If it's there, it's a rhythm throw. If it's not there, on that 3rd step, 1, 2, 3, it's not there, he's going to start working up in the pocket. He's going to start working this pocket, and his eyes are going to go to the wide fade. All right, so it's 1, 2, 3 spot. All right, it's not there. I'm going to work the pocket, start working up in the pocket. All right, and I'm looking for the wide fade. All right, and then it turns basically into a smash read. All right, so if he doesn't like the wide fade, he just checks it down to the back. So it's 1, 2, 3 spot, start working the pocket, wide fade to the back. Simple read. All right, again, if it's man cut, well, this is zone. We're talking zone here. And then if he doesn't like it, he can take off. Now, there are times when the Z can work open and find windows. I've got a clip of that. And there's some other tags we can get involved with. All right, now, versus man. All right, man coverage. Whether it's one high, no high, all-out blitz, whatever, you've got options. All right, and again, this is the reason why we've installed this scheme. All right, we've got a lot of options here if it's man coverage. All right, so let's talk one high man coverage. All right, so man coverage, quarterback's thinking backside slant, right? All right, now before that, he wants to check front side, and this is through film study. If you like your matchup, you know you're playing a team that plays a lot of man coverage. Think about matchups. Do you like your matchup on your Y and the guy they're going to play man coverage with him? Okay, or do you need to motion the Z in and run this same scheme with the Z? You know, all that's game planning type stuff. But first thing quarterback wants to do is check to see if he likes the matchup with the wide fade. All right, and if he does, he can one-step it and give the Y a shot at it. Okay, maybe he can outrun him. He needs to pay attention, though, if it's one high, where this safety is. Okay, because what you don't want to do is, yeah, you win on the wide fade against the sound because he's locked up man, but because the ball's on the hash, the safety's cheated this way, and he runs over the top and picks it or makes the play or contests the throw or the ball, the catch. You know, so really what you want to tell your quarterback versus man is you really want to make sure you know where this safety is. If he's cheated this way, let's take a shot at the slant. All right. If he's not cheated, he's in over the ball. All right, go ahead and take a shot at the wide fade. You can do either or. And again, it takes a lot of film study. It takes some in-game adjustment to determine how you want to read that. But those are the two man beaters built in this play. Again, if the only time I tell our quarterbacks it's okay to throw the inside slant is if it's zero high, there's no safety highs, this straight cover zero, all right, and the wheel is walked up and the wheel's coming. You got to be careful too on this because we've seen teams walk up and then back out. All right, so be really careful throwing that inside slant. I don't recommend it personally. I kind of want to stay away from that. Okay. So that's the two-man snag. All right, let's get in. Now we do this multiple ways, okay? We can do it with a fullback in. All of our formations in the program spread system that we've been doing, all right, we can run this scheme in, all right? With the fullback in here, we can run the two-man spot or the two-man snag that way. So you can do it in any formation. You can get into some empty stuff. All right, let's say that we're having issues right here with the Mike linebacker. This is a variation that you can work and we've played with. All right, you know, you're having issues with the Mike really flying out of there, getting under there, and the Sam rallying here, and the safety and the corner bailing. Right? So people are really doing that. Well, number one, you probably need to run the football. All right, because that Mike's not check and run. You can RPO it then and really hold him accountable, okay? But you can line the back in an empty set right here, okay? And you can check him down right here to hold that mic, and now you've got a double snag here to kind of read. Now you lose your flat concept, all right? Or you can do it out of 3x1 to hold that. And I'll show you the three-man snag in just a moment. So I just showed you a a problem how people will defend this, all right, well, then that's why we go right into the 3-man snag, okay? When you get to where, you know, you're having issues with how they're defending it. Now, 3-man snag. Same read for the quarterback, but you can play with backside, all right, just like everything else in our system. All right, so let's take a look at backside real quick. All right, right here he's running a 10-yard speed out, what we call speed out. All right, that's a matchup thing. We like that, we'll throw that. He'll take a 3-step drop and throw that. He can run a 5-yard out. He can run a slant. You know, you can do whatever you want to do backside. It can be week to week. It can be how you do it. You know, we like to have the freedom to do different things on the backside. We can even go vertical here. All right, so don't handcuff yourself in the, okay, we're only going to run a speed route, or we're only going to run a slant on the backside of our snag concept. Have the freedom to do whatever you want back there. Again, quarterback pre-snap can do pretty much whatever you want him to do, depending on that week's game plan, the strengths of your X, you know, that type of stuff. Now, we had a guy last year, he's at Ohio State right now, killing it in spring ball and summer, you know, slants and wide, and the fades were, you know, our go-to back there. He could also run the speed route. I mean, he could do whatever. Now, if you got a guy that you just want to put on slants, young guy, great. Got a guy that is not really good at running slants, you might want to put him on snaps, you know, 5-yard outs or verticals. You know, he's a good jump ball guy, put him on verticals. So really play there. Now, front side, the read is the same. The spot to the wide fade to the flats. Okay? So now what has happened is we have max protect, well, 6-man protection. All right, remember earlier in the sessions how we do our protections. All right, we're 4-man slide, man locked up, inside, outside. Our protection, simple protection. I didn't really go into the protections because we spent so much time on it earlier in the system. Go back if you want to get in protections. I've got a whole session on protections that you can go in and study. So it's the same protections, all right, and it's the same read for the quarterback. 3-step gun drop, 1, 2, 3. On the 3rd step, you want the spot. If it's not there, get your eyes to the wide fade, to the flats. Now, man coverage, what we've created is a nice little rub concept with the H, all right. You know, and what we tell our quarterback, if it's man and you're not going backside, you're not going backside here, you're going front side, okay? And if it's man coverage, I want to check out my matchup on the Y. Do I like it? So I'm going to take a shot on the wide fade. If it's not there, I don't like it, I'm just going to go through a progression where I'm reading 1 to 2 here, okay? Just go through my natural progression, and one of those, through a natural rub, it's going to come open. So, versus man coverage, we talked earlier about, all right, what if the mic here is really dropping under the spot, and the Sam's running to the flats, and the safety's over the top, and the corner is bailing. And they got a really good backside corner that's locking this down. All right, so that's a problem for us, right? You know, that's a problem we've thought about. They're dropping the wheel under the slant. We can't really throw the slant. Couple answers, okay? First answer, you can work some type of RPO, whether it's zone. Let's just say we're running zone. It's zone or counter, or whatever you want to, RPO run you want to do. All right, and he'll flash here and basically just reading here to hold here and taking the spot concept, because he's going to have to bite on he's got to play the box. Okay, so you could do that. What I personally like to do if that's an issue, is really do this. Tag him in the route, just like we do. Send him out. And when we do that, just tag H pop. So now, let's just pretend like this out concept is gone. So now look what you have here. All right, if you just tag your H on a pop, all right, that's going to hold the mic. All right, so now we've really put the Sam linebacker in conflict. If they want to defend the wide fade with two guys, Bell in the corner, Bell in the safety, now you're really putting him in conflict, and the read is the same. Don't worry about the pop. The pop is just to hold the mic in there. Now the read is the spot route to the wide fade to the back. Okay? If the mic blitzes, because, the mic blitzes, all right, we'll take the pop. Okay? So that's a nice little answer you can throw in there if you're getting some issues with the mic dropping under it. All right? So that's just some tags that you can put on there. You can also, we've run, in this concept, you're getting some man coverage, you need some double moves, you can run spotting up. All right, when the safety starts cheating down and he's trying to get involved in the game, and you can also run a slow go on the backside. 3-step slant and then back out. A double move on a slant and go. Slow go, slant go, whatever you want to call it. So those are two little shot plays you can do off of that to score on. Once people start getting their safeties involved trying to defend it, if they want to stay with a 6-man box, and they want to make sure that they're covering this, you got to have, like I've said earlier, you got to have answers versus multiple coverages, and you've got to have double move shot plays off everything you do. That's why you want to make sure, not a ton of scheme, a little bit of scheme, but a lot of different ways to run it. All right, so let's look at a couple clips. And like I said, I don't have a ton of film on this, all right, because we're early in the running it, but like always, we'll get more film on it. So right here, we're looking at a 3-man snag concept. We're going to be working it up here with the 3 receivers. This is early in the year last year when this was a good red zone concept for us. As you see, we're really putting this defender in conflict. All right. What's he going to do? All right. We got a wide fade working to the pylon. So this is also a great red zone play. We score right here on throwing the spot. So it's a really good play. See the end zone shot. It opens up good. All right, same thing here. This is the 3-man spot concept. We're leaving the back end to protect, or the snag concept. All right. This is a good example of some early growing pains. We missed a slant tag on the backside. The cue looks that way, it's not there, so he immediately gets his eyes back to the spot concept. One throw to slant, wasn't there. He immediately gets his eyes back over to where we're running the check down or a spot play. Here's another 3-man, and if you notice here, again, we had a really good X receiver, all right, and as you see, they're playing tight coverage here, and for whatever reason, this safety's deep, playing over the top. They're kind of doubling him, but we got straight man over here, so we're going to take a shot with the Y. Send the back out. We got one-on-one, and we win on the jump ball. anytime you can work on a one-on-one and get the ball on the inside. All right, so here's some practice film recently. All right, so we're going to work the two-man snag concept over to the right here. Oh, no, I mean to the left. I'm sorry. So he's running the spot, throws it on rhythm. 1, 2, 3, the ball's out. It's a good play. Same thing here. He's a good rhythm throw, taking the spot. This is 7-on-7 drill. Just working all our concepts. Here, you know, it's too high zone coverage. All right. Corners off. We like the leverage. Okay. So watch how the quarterback just takes the snap, turns and throws. Same here. Good little look at it from a camp. Just taking a shot on the wide fade. Again, if we like matchups, the safety, you know, is jumping. Whoop, the safety is jumping the spot. So we're going to take a shot on the wide fade. Same here. Throwing the spot concept. Back does a good job of choking down when he gets to the numbers. All right, and the reason why that's a big coaching point is to choke it down at the top of the numbers is because if he runs full speed out past the numbers and you throw it out there to him, he's probably going to step out of bounds and he doesn't have a lot of room to work with. So if you tell him to choke it down and start kind of working upfield a little bit, once he hits the top of the numbers, that gives the back plenty of room if you shoot it out to the back to you know, have some room to work with, a little more real estate to run the ball in. Here's the three-man snag. Now, I put this on the clinic just to kind of show you, you can work this in the boundary. Let's say you're playing a real field-heavy defense, all right, or you got a really good X receiver and you want to get him to the field by himself, do some things, put your formation into the boundary. All right, put the trips in the boundary. I'm not a big guy. I'm not a big guy on that. I don't love formation to the boundary unless it's for a run advantage. Okay, if it's a run advantage, I'm all about it. But pass schemes, I'm not a big man in the formation and boundary. However, if you got a really good X receiver, all right, and you want to see how they're going to handle him to the field, if you put trips in the boundary, are they going to put their defensive strength in the boundary? Great, that might be an opportunity to isolate your receiver, just like we're doing right here. We formation them into the boundary. They call a boundary defense, and we got one-on-one up top to throw a slant. Back went the wrong way on that. Let's see what we got here. Same thing. And this is a good job of back went the wrong way again, but quarterback does a nice job of finding the back. And there's a good example of choking it down at the top of the numbers, and we can get the ball out to him. He's got plenty of room to work with. Same here. We're a little late on this throw, but this is a young quarterback that we're working with. So that's good. All right, so that's our two and three-man snag concept. Again, it's a work in progress. We're looking forward to having more information, more film about it after the season's over with. So hopefully we'll have that up for you at the end of the season and at the clinics this winter.